Hello, great people out there. I hope you all are doing well, and I'm doing well as well. So, as I said, I would be coming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm coming, and today, as your boards are also coming nearby, I thought why not complete with the Flamingo book. So, for this is the last chapter as per your syllabus for from the book Flamingo. Indigo. So today we will be completing with Indigo, and I hope you have went through all my other chapters as well. In case of any queries, any doubts, you can reach out to me using the comment box, or you can reach out to me dropping a mail as well. I would reply to a query. And please rock your paper as boards are coming nearby. Don't forget to go through each and every video of mine. English literature, the whole book has been actually recorded for you all and explained. For any doubts, you can reach out again, I'm saying. So let's get started with the last chapter from the book Flamingo Indigo. So let's begin with the chapter for today, right? Now, when I first visited Gandhiji in 1942 at his ashram in Sevagram in central India, he said, I will tell you how it happened and that I decided to urge the departure of the British. Now, what does it mean? First of all, when I visited, who is I over here? Louis. It's not Louis, it's Louis. S is silent, okay? Visited Gandhiji in 1942. Now, what happened now? The Gandhiji is telling what how he decided means how he urged that the departure means going off British in 19 and it was in 1970. He had gone to the December 1916 annual convention, okay, of the Indian National Congress Party in Lucknow. There were 2,301 delegates and many visitors. During the proceeding, Gandhiji recounted a peasant came up to me looking like any other peasant in India, poor and emaciated, and said, I'm Rajkumar Shukla. What had happened till here? Gandhiji is now telling that it was in the year 1916 he went to annual convention means what a customary it was like it's a custom like where every year that annual meeting used to take place with whom with National Congress, okay, in Lucknow. And how many delegates were there? Delegates were somewhere around 2301 and they are known as representative, okay, nothing else. So he over here there all of a sudden one peasant came. What do you mean by peasant? Peasant is nothing but a farmer, okay. He was poor like every other and emaciated. Emaciated means thin, काफी thin था, and his name was what? Rajkumar Shukla. Let's move forward. I am from Champaran and I want you to come to my district. Who is saying this? He's this Rajkumar is saying to whom? To Gandhiji. Gandhiji had never heard of this place. It was in the foothills of towering Himalayas near the kingdom of Nepal. Under an ancient arrangement, the Champaran peasants were sharecroppers. Rajkumar Shukla was one of them. He was illiterate but resolute. Resolute means what? Determined. मतलब भले ही वो अनपढ़ था but resolute, determination उसका high था. He had come to the Congress session to complain about the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar, and somebody had probably said to speak to Gandhiji. Now, what is the story of farmer named Rajkumar Shukla? He is from Champaran, where nobody had heard this place. Even Gandhiji was like feeling, where is this place? It is somewhere in Himalayas, okay. And he was saying that please come with me over there. Why? Because he was very upset with the injustice done to him by the landlords in the Bihar, okay, in the Bihar. So he wanted that Gandhiji should come and speak. And who said this? Someone said it to Rajkumar Shukla that one person can help you out. Who is that? Gandhiji. So he came in the this National Congress one convention, the annual meeting, to just get the Gandhiji to his place so that this injustice is not continued and there might be some change thinking over there, okay. Now, under an ancient arrangement, the Champaran peasants were sharecroppers. Sharecroppers मतलब क्या होता है? Like for example, you are living, I'm the owner of the house, you are living on the rent. So what you are? You are living on the rent, then you are a tenant, right? You are a tenant. So same way, I'm the owner of the field and I'm giving you my farm. I'm giving you my farm on rent, then you are the tenant of that farm, okay. So whatever crops we are growing now, one part of it you will be giving to the owner, and the whatever other crops you are growing, one part of it you will give it on rent. Means you are giving the crop, each crop part you're giving it on rent. That is known as sharecroppers. Understood? One owner and the parts of the crop you're giving it on the rent as well. So आप already rent पे हो, आप अपने crops जो उगा रहे हो वो भी rent पे दे रहे हो parts में, ठीक है? That is known as sharecroppers. Understood? Now Shukla was one of them. Who was there? Rajkumar Shukla was one of them. मतलब वो भी वहाँ पे tenant था. In short, he was illiterate but resolute, as I said, determined. He had come to the Congress session to complain about the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar, and somebody had probably said, मतलब किसी ने बोला उसको कि if you go to Gandhi, your problem would be solved. So somebody said, speak to Gandhi. Let's move further. Gandhi told to Shukla he had an appointment in Kanpur. Kanpur means what? It's Kanpur, nothing else. First it was pronounced as this way. And also committed to the other parts of the India. Shukla accompanied him everywhere. मतलब शुक्ला उसके पीछे पीछे गया जहाँ भी गांधी जी गए. Okay. Then Gandhi returned to his ashram near Ahmedabad. Shukla followed him to the ashram. For weeks he never left Gandhi's sight. Fix a date, he begged. Who begged? Shukla. मतलब प्लीज एक डेट फिक्स कर दो. अब मैं बहुत ज्यादा आपसे मतलब बोल रहा हूँ, रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ. Impressed by sharecropper's tenacity means what? Determination, that he's not leaving. He is like मतलब कुछ तो सीरियस है जो मुझे वो छोड़ ही नहीं रहा. गांधी जी was realizing it. And story. Gandhi said, I have to be in Calcutta on such and such a date. Come and meet me and take me from there. He's saying मैं कोलकाता में कलकत्ता, that time it was तो मैं कलकत्ता में रहूंगा ये सारे दिनों पे, तो आप आ जाओ और मुझे लेके जाओ वहां से अपनी सिटी पे. Months passed. Shukla was sitting on haunches at the appointed spot in Calcutta. When Gandhiji arrived, he waited till Gandhiji was free. Haunches means bumps pe. He was sitting and he was waiting wherever Gandhiji was, and he was waiting when the Gandhiji will get free so that he can take Gandhiji with him. Then two of them boarded a train for the city of Patna in Bihar. There Shukla led him to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad, who became the president of Congress Party and of India. He's the same Rajendra Prasad who was the first president of India. Okay, so that's what Rajendra Prasad. Rajendra Prasad was out of town, but the servants knew Shukla was a poor yeoman who pressured their master to help the Indigo sharecroppers. Now, what does it mean? Yeoman means what? The same person, like who is always he's saying कि जो Shukla servants थे, Rajendra Prasad servant, they were knowing कि ये जो Shukla है ना, वो ही है जो हमेशा अपने लैंडलॉर्ड को परेशान करता है एंड दूसरे लोगों को लाता है so that he gets some or the other credibility for himself. So he knew. And pressured means what? Trouble. He's the same yeoman who pressured their master to help the Indigo means sharecroppers. So they let him stay on the grounds with his companion. Companion means जो उसके साथ थे. Even Gandhiji was there, right? So Gandhi, whom they took to be another peasant. अब वो लोग ने गांधी जी को क्या सोचा? ये भी एक छोटा सा फार्मर है और कुछ नहीं. ठीक है? But Gandhiji was not permitted to draw water from the well, lest some drop from his bucket pollute the entire source. How did they know that he was not untouchable? Now, this is a story when in India when untouchability was practiced. Okay, so that's what they took it. जो राजेंद्र प्रसाद के servants है, they thought even Gandhiji is one of them with Shukla, and they thought we don't know even if he is untouchable. If Gandhiji is untouchable, then what? And what if he is drawing the water from the well and one dip of it falls into the well? The total well will become untouchable, so polluted according to them. So it is something, it is untouchability was practiced, so people used to behave in such a manner, in such a bad manner with untouchable people. They were not allowed to touch any of the thing. They were not allowed to sit on the bed and all that. They were always untouchable, मतलब हमेशा दूर रखते थे. Untouchability practice, it was really bad. It's actually worst, I would say pathetic, because being a human, no one is untouchable. Untouchability should not be practiced, and it's not practiced. It used to be practiced before, right? So that's what, those were the days where untouchability was known a lot and was practiced a lot. So those days Gandhiji went over there and they thought that Gandhiji is one of the untouchable. They were not knowing his Gandhiji. Okay, let's move further. So what happened later on, Gandhiji, what he decided, he decided to go first to Muzaffar, which was en route to Champaran, to obtain more complete information about the condition than Shukla was capable of imparting. Now what did Gandhiji thought, that instead of just taking the action, first I should get the complete information. So he decided to go to the Muzaffarpur, to get the complete information, to whom he accordingly sent a telegram to Professor JP Kiprani. Now, over the time, Telegram was there, no email, phone calls, and SMS, obviously. Of the arts college in Muzaffarpur, whom he had seen at Tagore's Shantiniketan school. Okay, whom? The professor. Okay, Kiprani. Now, the train arrived at midnight, 15 April 1917. Okay, he was waiting at the station. Who? Professor, with a large body of students. Many students were there with him to welcome Gandhiji. Gandhiji stayed there for 2 days in the home of Professor Malkani, a teacher in government school. So over there, Gandhiji stayed for 2 days, and he was a teacher in government school those time. It was an extraordinary thing in those days. Gandhiji commented for a government professor to harbor a man like me. Harbor means shelter. Now what does it mean? It was a days where he was working with a government school, and Gandhiji was trying to revolt against what? Revolt British, and he was working in the government, uh, s- the college school. So it was really difficult, but still what did he do? He gave the shelter to Gandhiji. It means he did a very dangerous thing just to give shelter to the Gandhiji, but city people are also not ready to give the shelter. Being an advocate, being a teacher, actually being a teacher in government, where Gandhiji is against the Britishers, revolting the Britishers, that time he is giving the shelter. It's a very dangerous task. He did it, right? Yes. In smaller localities, the Indians were afraid to show sympathies for advocates of home rule. The news of Gandhiji's advent means arrival, and of the nature of his mission spread quickly through Muzaffarpur and to Champaran. Sharecroppers from Champaran began arriving on foot and by convenience to convenience to see their champion. Means what? From all parts of the Champaran and Muzaffar, everyone started coming. Muzaffarpur, everyone started coming. Okay, and sharecroppers started to come by foot or by their carriage. Okay, conveyance means carriage and all that. Muzaffarpur loyals called on Gandhiji to brief him. अब लॉयर्स आए, उसको बोल रहे थे कि क्या है एक्चुअली सिचुएशन. They frequently represented peasant group in court. Means this case was already in the court and they were representing Gandhiji what exactly the situation is. They told him about their cases and reported the size of their fee, of the lawyer's fee. Gandhiji cheated the lawyers for collecting big fee from the sharecroppers. Means what? Scolded. He scolded. Okay, who? Gandhiji. To whom? Lawyers, because they were charging a hefty amount as a fees to, for the case and all that. Let's see further. So next, what happened? He said, "I have to come to the conclusion." Who he? The Gandhiji. Okay, that we should stop going to law courts. Taking such cases to the courts does little good. Means he's saying there's no like benefit in going to the law court. There's nothing good. Hardly there is something good for us. Where the peasants are so crushed, where in the courts, and fear-stricken law courts are useless. The real relief for them is to be free from fear. For them is what a relief? To be free from fear. Most of the arable land means what? Fertile, where you can cultivate. That is known as arable. In Champaran district was divided into large estates owned by Englishmen and worked by Indian tenants. The chief commercial crop was indigo. The commercial crop, why is it named? Because it was the one which was giving a lot of earning. So it was and commercial crop, that's the reason. And name was what? Indigo. Okay. The landlords compelled all tenants to plant 3/20ths of or 15% of their holding with indigo and surrender the entire indigo harvest as rent. Now what does it mean? What did the landlords, the Britishers, what did they say? They said that you have to give every 20 years you pass, so 3 out of that you need to give it to us, or 15% of their holding with indigo. 15% of their holding of indigo they need to surrender to whom? To whom? to the landlords, the Britisher, as a rent. So, and it was compulsion for them, they need to grow. Force, very forceful it was, that you need to grow indigo, you need to harvest, you need to do it. Indigo is compulsion. Okay, this was done by the long-term contract. Presently, the landlords learned that Germany has developed synthetic indigo. Now they came to know that Germany has developed a synthetic indigo. They thereupon obtained agreements from the sharecroppers to pay them the compensation of being released from the 15% arrangement. Now what they understood, कि Germany is easily growing synthetic this indigo. So what did they thought, now the profitable is more, what more, if you want to get free from such a agreement that you need to give me the cultivated crop, instead of that, now what they have demanded, 15% directly. The sharecropping arrangement was erexa, means irritating to the peasants, and many signed willingly. Many had no option, so they signed willingly. Those who resisted, means those who opposed, engaged lawyers. The landlord hired thugs. Thugs means the criminals, the one who are having guns and all that, just to scare them. Meanwhile, the information about synthetic indigo reached the illiterate peasants who had signed and they wanted their money back. Now this news that even illiterate peasants, मतलब जो पढ़े लिखे नहीं, obviously the farmers. Now this news this was a news which spread all over the village, and what happened? Even now they also wanted their money back. Why? Because they had signed without knowing, and this was a clear cheating for them. It was like Britishers, the landlords have cheated them, because they should have said it to them that this and all has been written, but they were not aware. Being illiterate, they just took the revenge of it. So that's the reason they wanted their money back. Let's see further. At this point, Gandhiji arrived in Champaran. He began to trying to get the facts. First, he visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association. The secretary told him that they could give no information to an outsider. The secretary told Gandhiji that he is an outsider. But Gandhiji answered that he was no outsider. Next, Gandhiji called on the British officer, commissioner of the Tirut division, in which Champaran district lay. The commissioner, Gandhiji proceeded to bully me and advised me to forthwith to leave me. Now what happened now? He actually bullied the Gandhiji as well, and he said forthwith to leave, means immediately to leave. Okay, Tirut. Gandhiji did not leave. Obviously, he's not the person who would leave that time. Instead, he proceeded to Motiari. What is that? The capital of Champaran. Several royal accompanied him, means went with him. At the railway station, a vast multitude greeted Gandhiji, means crowd. He went to a house and using it as headquarters, continues his investigation. A report came in that a peasant has been maltreated, means ill-treated in nearby village. Gandhiji decided to go and see, and the next morning he started out on the back of an elephant. He had not proceeded far when the police superintendent's messenger overtook him and ordered him to return to town to his carriage. Gandhiji complied. Means he had not reached so far, but there was a message from police messenger that he needs to go back on his carriage as he has come. He had not reached it. Okay, let's see further. So next what happened? The messenger drove Gandhiji home where he served him. Okay, means he himself took back to home. Okay, the messenger with an official notice to quit Champaran immediately. There was an official notice that he needs to go back. He needs to quit the Champaran. Gandhiji signed the receipt for the notice and wrote it on it that he would disobey the order. He said he won't agree to this. He would disobey. In consequence, मतलब क्या हुआ इसका अंदाजा? इसका क्या हुआ? Gandhiji received a summons to appear in the court the next day. He was called in the court immediately. कल का कल court में आ जाओ. All night Gandhiji remained awake. He telegraphed Rajendra Prasad to come from Bihar with influential friends. He sent instructions to Ashram. He wired a full report to Viceroy. Morning found the town of Motiari black with presents. Means what? Too many prisons were there. Too many prisons were there, and too many. It was a crowded, quite crowded. Now, these farmers, the poor farmers, were not knowing actually Gandhiji. but they came over here just hearing that he's a good man and he's doing everything for them, and just because he was doing everything for them, he got into such trouble. So he thought that now this poor farmer thought that it's our duty to support Gandhiji. So they all gathered at just over there where the Gandhiji was staying. They were not knowing anything about Gandhiji apart from this. What did Gandhiji do? Gandhiji actually called Rajendra Prasad also, and he also said to get some famous, a good one, good influential people as well, famous people as well, who can take a stand properly, right? They did not know Gandhiji's record in South Africa. They had merely heard that Mahatma, who wanted to help them, was in trouble with the authorities, as I said here. Their spontaneous demonstration in thousands around the court house was the beginning of their liberation from the fear of Britain. Now, so many in thousands they gathered. So it's a beginning of liberalization. Now, from what? From fear. The fear which this poor family, poor farmers are having. They were trying. This gathering showed that yes, this is a positive sign. They won't be like they would stop getting feared from. They would stop getting scared from this Britishers. The official felt powerless without Gandhiji cooperation. Why? Because it was Gandhiji only. If they tell peasants that keep quiet, stay calm, so they would. Otherwise, they won't listen. So they were feeling very powerless to regulate such a big crowd to manage. He helped them regulate the crowd. Who? Gandhiji. He was polite and friendly. He was giving the concrete proof that might dread it, and unquestioned could be challenged by Indians. Okay. Next. I hope this part is clear to you, and this was the first part of the Indigo, and obviously I will be uploading the second part as well. So if in case of any doubt till now, please do ask me, so that once your doubt is clear with this part, then you can move to next part. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my video, please do subscribe it. And as I want to stay motivated, you need to motivate me by subscribing and also asking your contacts to subscribe to my channel, right? And there is a, if you see, there is a complete Flamingo book I have been uploaded now, which would be a syllabus, like English syllabus, which is there for 21-22. I have uploaded, most of the topics have been covered, and this is the last chapter as well. If in case, if I have missed anything, you can use the comment box and tell it to me. Even this chapter is there for you, but I'm pretty sure I haven't missed. But if in case you feel something is missed from my end, I will be taking into consideration, and surely I will be coming out with that as well. And today we have completed with the chapter, and also we have completed with the poem, that is Anne Jennifer. That was the last one. So book Flamingo is completed for class 12, 21, 22 exam as per the board syllabus. Okay, whatever the chapters are there. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you have a excellent board exams, and drop the paper and let me know after exams how well your exams were, and how it helped my videos for you to grow better and to have a better marks. I just want to have a lots of comments knowing that you all have scored well, and hope you all pass with flying colors, right? Bye bye, stay tuned. English with Bhavana.